Hi everyone, my name is Russell Medley and this is my EDL 959 Module 1. A little about me professionally. I graduated from Emporia State. I've been a PE teacher now for 11 years and this is my 10th year at St. Mary's Grade School where I'm currently at, where I teach kindergarten through 6th grade PE. I also do a lot of coaching. I coach junior high football, junior high girls basketball. Right now I'm an assistant for high school girls basketball, and in the spring I'm the head junior high track and field coach. I also do driver's education over the summer. That is a nice little way to earn a little extra money during those summer months. One thing I'm really excited about is that I'm in my final semester here at Fort Hays with getting my admin degree, and so I'm taking this class along with the practicum and hoping to finish strong. A little about me personally. My wife Cassie and I have been married for 11 years. We have two kids, Annabelle and Bennett. Annabelle's a second grader, and Bennett is a afternoon preschooler. They both go to the same school that I teach at right now. My wife actually teaches at the junior senior high school, and so it's nice where we're all in the same district with the same schedules and all that. We live in Paxco, Kansas, which is about 20 miles west of Topeka on I-70. I'm a huge Chiefs fan. I actually got to go to the Super Bowl, thanks in part to a lot of the students and staff and kind of the community raising some money to help send me there. So I always have to brag about that. Some of my other hobbies include camping and fishing that we like to really do during the summer. A little about my district. I'm a teacher at Caw Valley USD 321. We have schools in both St. Mary's and Rossville. We have two grade schools in our district as well as two combined junior senior high schools. We are also Title I schools, and so we utilize those services to help meet the needs of our students. Something unique about the St. Mary's side of our district is that we actually have a private academy, and this academy does not offer SPED services. So what we'll see a lot is those students come to the public school and receive those different services. And so that's kind of why our state, or compared to the state average, our number of SPED students is a lot higher. We are also an Apollo school. We've been kind of going through the process, and COVID's kind of slowed that down a little bit. But basically, it's a redesign process where we kind of get a little ownership and identify things that we can do as a school that kind of fits us, that might not fit the typical mold. And so we kind of rework our school day or target different areas that we can help meet the needs of our students. And so that's something unique about us as well. So 10 academic activities that are utilized in my district. I listed assessments. Obviously, that's an activity in itself. Some of the different ones that we do at our district is state testing at the grade school where I'm more familiar with. We use Ames Web, STAR test, ESGI, as well as kite testing. I mentioned our title services, reading and math. Our high school utilizes Scholars Bowl as an after school club. We also have college classes and work study programs that students can do in high school as well. We have summer school opportunities. We also have a bear book club at our grade school that kind of gets some family engagement going while also obviously working on reading skills. Parent teacher conferences are typically academically based and kind of just showing the progress throughout the school year. Something cool our high school does, those that are interested in education are what's called teacher interns, and so they kind of will job shadow and observe teachers in our schools or districts, and then kind of almost like a student teacher, slowly kind of maybe not necessarily take over classes, but help lead or come up with different activities that can be done to kind of get that experience. Part of our Apollo redesign that I mentioned, project-based learning is something that we want to really take advantage of, and so we're kind of seeing that more as a staff. And then finally, our school and district does a really good job of advocating for us taking field trips and getting students kind of outside the classroom and putting what they learned in the classrooms and applying that into the real world. So questions, how does your administrator support these activities? She does a good job of communication with stakeholders, leading or being a part of these leadership teams associated with them, and then evaluating the effectiveness of these activities and sharing results. What do I think about these activities? I think that they make learning applicable to the outside world and really prepare students for the real world after they are out of school. Anything that I would do differently as an administrator in charge, just to really empower my staff to get involved and to create buy-in and involve them in the decision-making process. And then what do teachers, students, parents, and other stakeholders think about these academic activities? I think that they're great tools to create communication among stakeholders while trying to find creative ways to make learning more meaningful and relevant. Next, we look at some non-academic activities utilized in my district. The first one is what we call School Friday Families, and there you can actually see me. It's just a few years ago, but it's my Friday family, and basically it's just a social emotional thing that we utilize where students from various grade levels meet together for about 30 minutes at the end of on a day on a Friday, and there we do various activities that are very informal, but just kind of building that sense of camaraderie, kind of building a little network among students from various grade levels. Sometimes we'll have topics that we'll address that also kind of fit those different non-academic skills, but it's mostly just a time for kids to be kids and they can kind of see their teachers in a different way. And so we just do a bunch of different fun activities. We also have a bunch of after school clubs that teachers can sign up and get paid for, but it's also just a great way for students to, I know like STEM is one that one of the teachers in our building does. So just a great way to still focus on some different skills. Part of our Apollo redesign too is SMART goals. And so while that could be academic, we kind of look at it as a way where we want students to work on goal setting and working towards a goal, setting realistic goals, and hopefully trying to motivate them to kind of take ownership of their own learning. And so that's something that I'm actually on that committee, and we're working on that right now as a school. Our counselor does weekly lessons, and so sometimes it's character ed or drug awareness. There's just various topics that kind of fit underneath that non-academic. We also have soft starts, and so this is just once again kind of a social emotional start to our day where there's no really formality to it. Students can kind of have a little ownership in what they do, and it's kind of a chance for teachers to check in on students and kind of see kind of what the baseline is entering the day. We also have a bunch of athletics and extracurricular clubs and activities that students can get involved in based on their interests. At the grade school, we have what's called positive bear calls that go home, where our principal will, if they get a note from a teacher saying that so and so was doing something very positive, sometimes it might be things that they've struggled with in the past and are doing better at, or if it's aligned with our vision and mission as a school. Our principal likes to call home and just kind of help celebrate those students. We also have what's called Paw Rewards, and so kids can earn tickets if teachers can notice kids doing things above and beyond. And so then they kind of helps reinforce those positive behaviors. And then kids can use those tickets to put in like monthly drawings to win different things or different experiences. We also have Bear Buddies, which high school students come down from the high school and kind of be a mentor with grade school kids. And so once again, just kind of working on building a little cohesiveness between the two different schools, kind of giving students those different support systems. And then finally, we have some summer camps where teachers can put on different things. And sometimes it's life skills. Like I know there was like a cooking class or a finance class, or it could just be hobbies and things like that, where it kind of helps the families out, and then the students kind of learn some of those different non-academic skills as well. So I'm looking at how does our school administration support these activities. Typically, she actually leads the PD on the importance of them and then shares information to the stakeholders through social media outlets, etc. She's very energetic in promoting and getting staff engaged and helping with the activities. What do I think about the activities? I think that these are some of the more important things that our school does and that kids are really excited about. Anything I would do differently if I were an administrator would just be to find ways to collect data on the effectiveness of the activities, and making sure that what we're doing is being effective and we're seeing an improvement in those non-academic areas. And then what do teachers, students, and parents and other stakeholders think about these activities? Some teachers feel that it's something extra that has to be done in their already busy day, but students really seem to love them. And the activities are a great way to help parents after school or during the summers, like I mentioned earlier, in regards to supervision and kind of bridging those gaps in both academic and non-academic areas. So now I'm looking at 10 things that I learned from the resources. First, I learned kind of what some of those non-academic skills were, and they're listed there. I also learned that employers really highly value those non-academic skills. And while, yes, we all want that nice, pretty degree and the nice GPA, some of the more non-academic skills that are really valuable is just communication, critical thinking, teamwork, and then just applying things to the real world. I also learned that while there's a need to teach non-academic skills, very few can actually provide examples of assessment methodology for evaluating these abilities. So it's kind of hard when you don't have hard numbers to to always associate with the effectiveness of things. And so I kind of can see how that might be hard to produce. I also learned that teachers feel that report cards and parent-teacher conferences are main mechanisms for communicating progress in non-academic areas. ESSA requires states to include at least one academic indicator in their school accountability framework. Those who grow up in healthy homes and receive quality preschool instruction typically develop skills to regulate emotions, pay better attention, and build relationships more easily. And I think that is kind of basic knowledge that the sooner that we can reach students and the better environment that surrounds those students, the easier it is for them to kind of learn those non-academic skills. The best way to teach non-academic skills is to routinely teach and use interactive teaching methods such as games, role play, and group work. Perceptions of importance of teaching non-academic skills varies based on race, education level, and income level. I found that pretty interesting, where it said like parents or teachers of color, really thought that there should be a high need of addressing those non-academic skills based on those who were white. um, Also, different ways to collect data that was listed from Carter was like a pupil self-report, teacher reports, or collecting data on observable behavior as tools to help measure those non-academic skills. And then finally, what I think was really important that stood out to me the most was teaching non-academic skills will help build academic skills. So sometimes just giving them those background knowledge of the little things and the attitudes and all that will kind of help them have the confidence to build those academic skills. Um, in my correlation, this assignment correlated to the standard because I evaluated my own school and looked at what activities we do to address both academic and non-academic skills. The resources made me think deeper into what we currently do and think of ways to make what we do better meet the needs of our students. This assignment was relevant because I thought in terms of a building leader and my role in helping address both academic and non-academic skills. And looking at the research, I understand the benefits of addressing non-academic skills, but I also understand that the feelings others may have, and that it shouldn't be the role of the teacher or school to meet those needs when there are so many other things on our plates. As a current teacher, I sometimes feel that the extra things we do to meet students' needs adds more to our plates when we don't, and those things we don't get judged on based on those non-academic skills compared to that of the academic ones. With that said, I do know that the kids and parents appreciate the non-academic skills we do address, but finding the metric to measure the effectiveness of those is sometimes hard. This assignment allowed me to see the benefits of addressing non-academic skills and how they can help improve academic performance. And then as for my reflection, this assignment made me think of how I would handle addressing both academic and non-academic skills in my school. As a building leader, I think first and foremost it is imperative that I understand our students, families, and get their feedback as to what skills are needed. Next, having collaboration with my staff and understanding these deficiencies allows us to construct our day and our mindset and how we can address academic skills while also consistently addressing non-academic skills. As a building leader, I would make sure we utilize our personnel and resources in a way in which we build those non-academic skills so that they may help improve the academic ones. Finally, I would find ways to track data on what we are doing as a school to address those non-academic skills to see if we are appropriately addressing them to better ourselves for the future. And I forgot to mention about what I kind of see in my building leader. I think that my current building leader does a great job at addressing both academic and non-academic skills. When she came in, I could tell that one of her big passions was social emotional aspect of learning, and how before we can really reach a student's mind, we have to reach their heart. And so she brought in a therapy dog, and our students really love that. And it's actually her own personal dog that she went through all the training to do that. And so you can just kind of tell that it's at her heart, and she really sees the importance and value of teaching those non-academic skills. That's all I have for this presentation, and here are my references. Thank you.